There was a recent Call of Duty Zombies creator call where Treyarch shared secrets about Black Ops 7 Zombies that they haven't been sharing anywhere else, such as why they think high rounds are too easy right now, and some of the changes they're making in the new Cursed mode, which is the new no armor, old point system, 4 perk limit mode coming to Black Ops 7. So in this video, we're going to dive into all those details, but we're going to be talking to Joey Conway, who was present in the call, and he's going to be giving an overview of everything that they said, and I'm going to basically be hearing their stuff for the first time. But I've also played Black Ops 7 Zombies, so I can chime in with my thoughts based on what I've played as well. And yes, I will be talking about what I played in this video, and in other videos that I'm posting right now. So make sure you're subscribed, and Joe, welcome to the video, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you got to tell me.
Yeah, so I'm excited about all these changes coming. It was exciting to hear about them, and we're just going to go through all of these things in the order that they told us about them in the call. So they started off...
So this was like a half-hour call, just to be clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Go for it.
Yeah, so we're going to have standard, directed, survival, and cursed mode. So first off, with cursed mode, we've already heard a little bit about it, but it's essentially just the classic mode that everybody has been asking for. So for some reason, you can rank up the cursed mode. It's a little bit strange, but yes, you can rank it up, and you acquire relics from ranking up the mode, and those sort of advance the tier and advance how many modifiers you could put on it. So some of the modifiers you could do are like 4 perk limits, no ammo crates. You're not going to have a loadout. You're going to have a pistol starting weapon. And crucially... Wait,
those are modifiers?
Yeah. So I'm not sure exactly all of them that are modifiers. It was a little bit vague, and I didn't hear the full context. But things like a 4 perk limit and no ammo crate, that is going to be a modifier for sure. So it's a little bit interesting what they're doing here. Yeah, so you get to play whatever way you kind of want to play. And they're going back to the BO3 point system. So it's not just the old point system, not like BO4. It's going to be BO3 specifically. Yeah. So
good.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah, so they
Thank God. Screw the BO4 system, dude.
No, I know.
Yeah,
so no BO4 system, nothing like that. We're doing the BO3 point system. So you shoot a zombie, you get 10 points. You kill a zombie, you get 60 points.
Yeah.
None of that BS. none of the BS where you only get a certain amount of points.
Joey Conway, let him know.
Let him know. You could buy the worst weapon off the wall and farm points. That's what's going to happen. So we could do that now.
Now, you know what's interesting about this? This sounds like a similar thing that they've just tried in Destiny this year with the Portal, where in the Portal, you start off and you don't have any modifiers present, and like the game's kind of easy, but then you unlock like higher ranks, which is in this case the tiers of the cursed mode, and then you can put on new modifiers, and those modifiers give you like a higher score basically for completing given activities, and that means that you're then eligible for greater rewards and stuff like that. So I'm almost wondering if they're trying to make it so that it starts off like fairly bare bones, but then you kind of layer the challenges on top and you stack it more and more and more and create like a more and more oppressive version of the mode. But then presumably that means that you get some kind of insane reward at the end. I mean, did they talk about like rewards or like anything, secrets or anything like that with Cursed?
So the reward stuff, not really that I heard much, but you get relics of some sort. And it seems like those relics might be part of the secrets, but something that they said exactly is like, you're going to be discovering more and more secrets as you play and rank up the tier of the mode, and that they're going to be adding more throughout the seasons. So they're kind of excited for players and they want to engage the community, and hopefully they enjoy discovering the secrets. So what the secrets are.
More secrets?
Yes, I believe so. So exactly what those are, I am not entirely sure. So I'm curious if they're going to expand on that and let us know more. But I personally am not really privy.
Yeah. So to give you some context from one of the things that I've experienced, when I was at Treyarch, we talked to them about the Mr. Peaks Easter egg in Reckoning. And we were like, listen, it's what, the ether knife, right? And you needed to use the Mr. Peaks field upgrade. And we said to them, like, transparently, this is dreadful. Like, never ever do this again. And the 2 Treyarch devs that we were talking to at the time were both like, we know and we agree. And it was
my
very
God.
strange. It sort of sounded like some external cosmic force had caused them to make the decision that they made, and then it was maybe like too late to change it by the time that they were able to sort of put their seal of approval on it. It was just like, well, we have to kind of ship this now. So it was quite confusing, but it sounded like something that they really recognized was not a good experience. So I'm hopeful that they've learned lessons from that then do not end up applying to the secrets in this. Because if they do, it's gonna suck ass. But if they've learned the lessons, like, I mean, the prospect of like playing Der Eisendrache in July of 2016, months after release, and the prospect of waking up one day and being like, wait, they've added something big to DE, that is a really cool idea to me. And that's something I actually used to have conversations with Jason Blundell about back in the day, like off the record conversations. And there were some conversations there, which I guess were off the record, so I probably shouldn't go into them, but there were conversations there. If they're going in that direction now, depending on execution, it could be very bad or it could be very, very, very good. So that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I'm very curious what it's going to look like. Maybe they'll reveal more soon. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what those secrets look like.
Worth mentioning, we're recording this the day before the big reveal. So by the time you're watching this video, we're going to have like 5 other videos up with blog post info and trailer info and blah, 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 blah. So some of the information in this call of our questions will have just been answered by all that stuff. But other things that are going to be in the creator call will have been exclusive to the creator call. So that's why we're recording this video now, so that you can hear our thoughts like ASAP. I don't want to hold any info back from you guys, right? So that's why it's going to be a little bit like, we might ask, oh, I wonder how this works. We might have just seen it explained in the trailer, right?
Right.
But it'll all work out. You just have to watch the other videos on my channel as well. Sorry. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, so after Curse Mode, they got right into Ashes of the Damned, which is our new map that's inspired by Transit. So they even said that. They said it's inspired by Transit.
Yep.
We got some fog. And so they designed the whole map to revolve around Old Tessie, which is our wonder vehicle. So Old Tessie.
Tessie? I thought it was Jesse.
If it's Jesse, I misheard.
Let me, hold on.
Investigate.
Now. Okay, I've pulled up the art, and actually I pulled up the breakdown video that I made on this. And to be fair, maybe that is a T actually, not a J. I just thought it was Jessie, but I guess it's Tessie. Okay, Old Tessie. Yeah, go ahead.
Tessie, our wonder vehicle. So the devs like to think of it as like a 5th player in your squad. So they want you to be around Old Tessie a lot. They want you to use it to get around. We're going to have things like the Zursa, which is the grizzly bear zombie, and that's going to be able to attack Old Tessie. So you got to protect Old Tessie from the Zursas, and you also got to protect Old Tessie from the Ravagers, which are like the, if you want to say, denizens of this game, little sneaky critters. They can also be punishing towards the vehicle. So like they're not going to do as much damage as a grizzly bear, but they're still going to attack the vehicle. So you got to protect it. And yeah, so while you're going through the fog, you can't just like hold a crawler and go through the fog all willy-nilly, all easy. It's going to be like a different experience when you go through the fog. You're going to have these fog zombies spawn and attack you. So
did they elaborate on that at all? Because when we were at the preview event, they said that when you're in the fog and you're between POIs, it doesn't follow the round-based rules.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of what I'm saying, is that the rules are not going to be the same. So you're not going to be dealing with normal zombies out there. You're going to get the fog zombies. And if you're one zombie left in the round and you start traveling, you're going to have to deal with the fog zombie, almost like a fog zombie round. It's just different. So while you're traveling, it's going to feel different. It's going to feel like something's going on. So it's not going to be, you're not going to just have a free ride to the next zone. You have to actually deal with more zombies. Yes.
But is it like they're going to be like higher level than the other zombies that you'd normally be fighting in a given route? Like, are they doing weird things like that, where it's like location-based difficulties or like anything funky? Or like when they say it doesn't follow the round-based rules, are they literally just meaning there will be more zombie spawns in the in-between sections no matter where you are in your rounds, because they just want it to feel like it's high action?
Yeah, it's sort of like the last thing you said. It's not so much.
Okay.
Yeah. So they didn't really expand beyond what I said. But assuming yes, it's more like the last thing you said.
Do you feel like the needing to keep the vehicle alive, do you get the impression that that's going to be annoying?
I get the impression that it's just going to be a different objective of your game. So while you're moving around, it's like transit. When you're in the bus, they're breaking down the windows, right? I get the impression
but they're never destroying the bus.
They're like never destroying the bus. No,
so blow up.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen when old Tessie has a breakdown, but what's going to happen if you have to get out and like repair it or something. I could see that being an annoying mechanic if they don't do it right. But honestly, that's just speculation right now. I just don't know.
Fab. They just didn't go into it. Okay.
Yep. With the design of Ashes of the Damned, right? It's designed with the vehicle in mind, but there are going to be other ways to travel. There are going to be fast travels. You can just run through if you wanted to, but the preferred way is to stick with your squad. That's what they want you to do. They want you to play as a team. They want you to stick with your squad, including your fifth member, which is old Tessie. So I wonder if it's going to have voice lines. I'm guessing it's gonna. Just from that line alone. So that's going to be pretty fun. They gave us a little sneak of some of the locations, and they mentioned that each location is going to have a rich backstory. You're going to find out stuff about the characters at the locations. You're going to find out different secrets about the locations themselves. So it seems like there's going to be little Easter eggs or like just lore involved with the locations, which is exciting to me because it doesn't feel like we've had much of that in the recent years. It's like repurposed facility or like, just there's a disconnect between the lore team and the map team.
Yes.
So that's very exciting.
When I played, the strongest positive that I came away with was like visually it looked good. Just like it looked like it had a cool art direction.
Right.
And it was a bit early for me to say whether that art direction had depth and substance to it underneath the surface to inspire lore questions and things. But it was certainly a step in a good direction. And so I'm hopeful. I could totally see this basically just being Revelations, where like you go to a new zone. It's kind of a new story in that zone. There's a new tale in that zone to be told. There's new radios in that zone that pertain to the story of that zone. Like, I could totally see that being the case. I also... Actually, I'm pretty sure I saw the fast travel when I played. Despite the fact that I was playing survival, it was still there, weirdly. And I think it's just like a jump pad. Or it might have been a teleport pad, but like it was like a large pad type thing.
They had that in transit, kind of. When you powered up the... Not jump pads, but you could power up the like lampposts, right? And then...
there was a port. Okay, let me be clear. Those were more like portals in the dirt. This was like a metal structure, almost closer to like a DE jump pad than a transit portal.
I
would be pretty upset actually if a transit portal-y style system wasn't there, because that is so core to transit in my opinion. I think they should make it better because I think the transit one's kind of annoying a lot of the time. But like some element of streetlight interaction would be fun to just have that back, I think. But this was like a machine. It's just a machine that wasn't active weirdly in the survival map. So
I wonder if it was just strange, like early build stuff or
they might have just left it in there. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Go ahead.
So you can either go one of two ways, right? You can go left or right. It's like transit. It's not completely linear, so you get to choose. So you can go to the farm, which is called, I think it's called Vandom Farm.
Okay, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Van Dorn.
Yeah. Because I played on the farm, and I think it says it above. It's written there somewhere. I remember seeing
So we have we have Van Dorn Farm. That's one of the first locations you can go to, and then we also have Blackwater Lake, which you can either go to Van Dorn Farm or Blackwater Lake. And we're starting at Janus Towers. So where that cutscene is that we've seen, I guess that's the intro cutscene. That's where we're starting. So Janus Towers into Van Dorn Farm or Blackwater Lake. They showed us one other location called Ashwood, and they said it was an old frontier town in a ravine, and there's lots of history to uncover. So
A frontier town. What is a frontier town?
that's a good question.
To Google. What is a frontier town? A settlement on the edge of an established, explored territory representing the boundary between the settled and the undeveloped wilderness, characterized by rapid growth, transient populations, and lack of strong government, frequent lawlessness, and sometimes serving as a cultural or economic center for settlers venturing into new lands.
Cool. Okay. All right.
I mean, that sounds like a cool thing to be in the Dark Ether.
Yes.
If there's like an explored part of the Dark Ether and an unexplored part, and the frontier town is on that barrier,
well,
that sounds sick.
well, it's kind of what they got at with the fog zones.
Okay.
So the fog zones, they said they're going to have thematic elements themselves. So, for example, like there's the monolith forest that connects Janus Towers to Blackwater Lake. So in between, I'm guessing there's going to be some little tidbits and secrets to find in there. That's an assumption, but it just seems like there's going to be a little bit to uncover in between zones as well, which is exciting.
Okay, cool.
So beyond the map, we have some things like some new mechanics and some quality of life stuff, new augments, and one thing they're adding is an overheal mechanic. So pretty much what they said is it's just going to temporarily increase your health past the normal range. And that's really all they said about it. There's going to be some augments that have to do with overheal, like for healing aura is going to have some new overheal augments itself. Not sure exactly what those are yet, but it's going to have stuff related to overheal.
Okay, let's talk about augments more in a minute, because that's going to be an important thing to talk about. But I just have to say, like, very, very quickly, I struggle to understand why these calls exist sometimes. I find it so baffling, because it doesn't help get the information out. It actually makes it worse, because what this means is that we have information now that they're like, there's an overheal mechanic, and they say nothing about it.
Unless if I completely misheard what was going on. I don't know. That's really all we got on it.
But I don't know. It's just like it's a weird format of like, and I mean, we can talk about, I'm sure there was like a Q&A type thing as well, but the way these Q&As always go is always the same. It's like, they respond like they can't say anything, like Activision, like breathing down their neck the entire time, but they are Activision. So it's like, what? Like, what are we doing here? Like, so they either don't say anything, or the answer that they give will be so brief because it's minute 28 out of 30 that it might as well not have been answered in the first place. It's just like, it's so weird. I don't get it. I don't understand there. Anyway, sorry, I'm ranting here, but like, there's so much stuff where you're saying it, and I'm like, oh, it would make sense for them to give like quite a detailed, in-depth explanation of like the developer rationale behind this, especially on a creator call where you can talk to creators on a level where you can actually have a zombies conversation. But instead it's like, no, we're still gonna have to like do this in a really weird corporate way that just makes it less useful for everyone.
Yeah,
like,
it's just like, here's some information, and we'll tell you more later.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But then like, it's like, here's some information, we'll tell you more later, but you can't talk about the information until we've already told you more elsewhere.
Right.
What? Like, anyway, keep going. Sorry, I just
no, that's fine.
I just wish that their strategy on this made a bit more sense, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Oh, so true. Man. Just gotta keep rolling with it. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, one other thing they said about the overheal mechanic is that it's going to be sort of essential in curse mode, and that's because we're not going to have armor, I don't believe. So,
well, that's not promising to me.
yeah.
If they've not tuned cursed mode to not have armor, and instead they've just been like, well, we just need something to basically give us the benefit that armor gave us. That's not classic zombies then. It's some random new thing. It's just a different lick of paint. Like,
yeah.
Okay, whatever. Maybe we'll just have to play it. I mean, honestly, if it looks less Warzone-y, it's still an improvement in my eyes. Like, if we're not having to manually plate up, but we're still getting the benefit of having, like, an overshield, then if it's like an ether shield, I can dig that much more than I can dig manual Warzone plating 24/7. Aesthetically, it fits zombies much better. So maybe it's an improvement, even though it's a kind of, I'm cynical, but like, maybe.
I know, you've been burned too many times. Like, it's hard it's hard for your brain to wrap. Yeah, no, I get it. We'll just see how it plays. I mean, we'll see how it plays. Because it could be good. It could be good. If it's more zombies-like, then that's great.
That's an improvement. Yeah, for sure. So did they say anything about other augments? Because you mentioned not knowing what the healing aura augments were going to be, but they did? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so they actually told us a few augments, and then they also mentioned that we have 66 new augments for the existing content already in the game. Which sounds like a lot, but at the end of the day, it's only, we're getting one new minor and one new major for each research tree. And something to note really quick about the augments is that they, so we're going to have the same tree, right? So we already had 3 majors, 3 minors for everything. And all of that stuff that we ranked up in Black Ops 6 is going to carry forward. So when we start playing Black Ops 7, we're only going to have to research 1 major and 1 new minor. So it's a little bit weird. I don't know if it would be like,
bro, how is this a new game?
I know, it's a little bit weird.
Black Ops 6 has 3 and 3. And then, so that's 6 total, right? And you've got just the fact that they're like the perks themselves, right?
Yeah.
Or not only perks, there's other stuff too. But like, so you've got your 6 things there, and we're basically going from getting a full game with 6 new things, and it's a new system, to a full game with 2 new things, and it's an old system.
Yes. Yeah, it's part 2. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all.
So I'm not sure why they decided to do that. I think they could have made some of the old augments just more interesting. Like, there's always like a clear winner to pick, and
yeah. Oh well, a lot of the time, at least in my opinion.
Most of the time. I would say 90% of the time, it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to use this. There are special cases, or like if you're playing co-op, like you might change it up a little bit.
They're also just not different enough. And zombies doesn't require enough of a challenge, like enough of a skill hurdle from you to actually require you to be like crazy tactical about your augments the vast majority of the time.
Right.
Like,
I run the same thing almost every game. So
yeah.
But the nice thing is that it's going to carry forward to research. But there's also one additional research point. So it's not just 2 things that you're unlocking. There's a third thing to unlock. And that third thing is going to allow you to equip 2 minors for that specific perk or whatever utility it is. So once you finish a research tree, then you could equip 2 minors at once. So that's going to make builds a little bit more interesting, but it's still the old minors plus 1 new one. So,
so that's their way of trying to make the meta feel different to BO6's augment meta.
It must be. It's a little bit strange just because, like, some of the combinations just, I don't know. We'll have to see like what the new minor augments are.
Yeah, maybe they're really cool. Maybe they
are.
Do some cool synergistic stuff. Because like, that's the thing is, this year in BO6, one of the criticisms that I had very early on, was that in quite a lot of instances, you'd see a lot of, especially minor augments, but sometimes majors too, that just felt quite cookie cutter. They
Right.
didn't feel custom to that item, that thing, that ability, that whatever. It was just like, do more damage. And it's like, well, that's just kind of dull. Like, why can't this be like more zany, more, give it more of a reason to exist?
Right.
So maybe the new miners will be like that. Maybe the new miner augment philosophy is stepping in that direction. It's early to judge,
We'll see.
but this is not giving me a crazy huge amount of confidence right now, personally. But keep going.
Yeah, and honestly, some of the new majors they showed us don't really inspire confidence because it's stuff that I wish they just made changes to the perks and how they work in general. So like the Vulturade major augment, the new one, it's going to auto apply armor from the ground to your vest if it's not full. And it's like, I'm just going to equip that. I wish that was a part of the perk and not a major augment.
Okay, well, to play devil's advocate in Treyarch's favor here,
Sure.
there are some people that like to choose when to apply the plate.
Fair.
Just because they don't want to like burn through. If they know they're going to take like 20 hits, like they're doing something that just requires them to get smacked over and over again, like they don't necessarily want to burn the plates sometimes, but like,
Right.
so I can see in that individual instance, it's like, okay, give the player the choice by making it an augment.
Right. You could just not buy Vulturade as well.
Yeah, that's very true. That's so true. That's
like
fair.
just don't buy the perk if that's like if you have the specific case. I
Yes,
think most of the
yeah.
time you're gonna be happy that this exists. And I'm probably going to run it. I think the majors for Vulturade sucked anyway. I think they were like stand in a puddle to regenerate your stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just gonna put this on. Like I'm not gonna bother.
Yeah, that's true.
Like-
Actually, that's a good
Like
point.
it's just not. It's just too niche. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll have that one on stamina up. It's called Guns Up, and it's gonna be you can fire while sprinting. So it's a nice little improvements per
Okay.
stamina up.
I guess. Like,
I
this is
wish
the
that
thing,
was
bro.
the
Like,
perk.
yeah, and if this was like Hades or something, and I hate to just constantly go back to Hades, but actually no, I don't. I love that game, so I'm gonna go back to it. Like the way that it builds all your abilities together makes you feel so different every time you play, and
Yes.
and even if you didn't feel different, just from the start of the match of having no abilities to the end of the match, bro, the crazy expansiveness of the sandbox means that even if you just went in one direction, the same direction 10 times in a row, you go on such a big journey from nothing to everything. And in zombies, it's like, you can shoot while sprinting. Okay.
Woohoo!
Can we be better than that?
You're right. Right.
Maybe? I don't know.
Something
man.
Vanguard did right. It was more roguelike than
Well,
this is.
Something
What?
it did right in concept.
In concept, correct.
In concept.
Correct.
In execution, I don't think it went anywhere close. But in concept, it had an interesting idea.
Right. Now you just
yes,
buy the
yeah,
perk
yeah.
and you don't think about it. So
Yeah.
there's another thing called Resurrection. I didn't catch what perk or ability this is for. Maybe this is for healing aura. I'm not sure. But Resurrection, revive players that are dead before the round turns over. So if you're spectating, let's say, and you don't want to spawn when the next round starts, you can spawn before the round ends. So I don't exactly know how that works in
Sounds
gameplay,
like a good change, I guess.
yeah, that's going to be a nice augment for a healer for the carry, I guess. To spawn
Oh, wait,
your
that's an
friends in.
augment.
Yeah, that's going to be an augment. Yes. There's another thing that I'll talk about soon that has to do with reviving.
Oh, I thought that was just a flat quality of life upgrade. That's just lame.
No, I believe that's an augment. Yeah. So we're gonna see exactly when they release more details. But I don't recall what it's for, but I believe that's an augment that they're adding. So,
Okay.
I don't know how that's gonna work. Honestly, I just don't
Make
know
it
how
so that
works
you
in
do
gameplay.
that, and then like both of you can run at 10 times speed for 4 minutes. Like, I'm
right.
dead ass.
Yeah,
I
right.
want those sorts of things. Like,
I want things that drastically change my build. I want the attachments to mean something. I don't want more bullet velocity. You know, like
oh, bro, that is like one of my biggest peeves with the
my
game
biggest
right
gripe.
now. Like,
That's my biggest gripe.
yeah, like, okay, go ahead.
Yep. We have more on the attachments later, though, so stick
Oh.
around. Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
A little tiny thing on attachments. But we have another one for Aether Shroud. It's called After Image, and that's going to create a clone that distracts zombies. So they're not just going to run away from you if you use Aether Shroud. So it's going to be quite nice, actually. I like that one. So you can create a clone.
Okay.
Cool. W. I think that's how an augment should work.
Yep.
Melee Macchiato Major, it's called Mocha Mall. So the punch is going to be replaced with your dedicated melee weapon. So you don't have to have your melee weapon out. You can just melee, and it uses your knife. So it's going to be good for camel grinding and stuff.
Yay.
Fine. I like, it's not that exciting, but like it's fine. It's that's an augment. I'm fine with that being an augment. Because you don't necessarily want that to be the perk.
I'm not gonna lie. The more you're talking here about augments, the more I'm actually just getting depressed because
I know
it's
wish it was
making
more
me
extreme.
realize this is just it's just Black Ops 6.5. Like the fact that we're just like, yeah, and like another melee macchiato augment. And I'm like, I'm having flashbacks, bro. I'm actually having like straight up deja vu right now. Like, all right, go ahead.
I know. I understand your frustration. I get it.
Yeah.
Well, they also dropped that the new perks and everything new coming is going to have 4 majors and 4 minors. So they're not going to start with 3 majors and 3 minors. They're just going to automatically get 4 majors, 4 minors with a new system.
Fine.
So I'm happy about that. I'm glad they're not just like skimping out on them. We're going to be getting the new perk called Wisp T. Don't really know much about it. They didn't tell me much about it. I don't know.
Okay,
if I missed it, but
I've used this.
okay, so let them know. Let us know.
So it's like an arc soul from Destiny. It's basically a little blue blob that hovers around your gun.
Okay.
And so you'll be like shooting zombies and it'll be hovering on your gun. It visually really doesn't look like a thing that you see in Call of Duty very often.
Cool.
And which I liked. And then I think, if I recall correctly, because it's been a little while now, I think you basically, it would shoot out, and it would either shoot out a little wisp that would then attack zombies, or it would shoot out a projectile, and then that would hit a zombie, and then it would attack the zombie. But yeah, it would basically do that every sort of couple of seconds, like every insert time period here. And one of the pieces of feedback we gave them at Treyarch is that nobody's going to use that because it's almost going to be like an annoying turned zombie where like you're going to have one crawler left alive and then the wisp is just going to shoot out at the crawler and it's just going to kill the crawler. And you're going to be like, nice.
I have good news.
Okay.
I have very good news for that gripe. They said they heard the feedback in the playtest, and they actually looked back, and it wasn't killing the final zombie. So they have new round end protections for things like brain rot and things like Wisp T. So they're not going to end the round.
Oh,
so
nice.
Bullish. Yes, good news. Good. So
yeah, that's good.
We'll have to see what they have to say about that a little bit more, but round end protection, yeah. It's not just going to grief your game if you want to use more than 2 things, you know?
Cool. Yeah.
So very cool.
Sounds good.
We have a new field upgrade, I believe is Toxic Growth. I didn't hear much about it. Fireworks ammo mod.
Isn't that old, Toxic Growth?
Yeah, I think that was in or Cold War, if I'm not mistaken. Right? That was in Cold War?
Let me look it up, because I swear that's old.
I remember there being some sort of thing like that.
I'm pretty sure, because it's a... Yeah, it's Cold War.
Yeah.
It can be upgraded using Ethereum crystals. Wow. Yeah.
Well, now we have 4 majors and 4 minor augments. So, we'll see how that works.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that's it for the augment stuff. It's kind of whelmed, I guess. I feel whelmed.
Did they talk about... So, one of the things in my playtest, I got fireworks on a gun.
Yeah, so fireworks is in the game, but I just don't know really beyond that. It's just new.
It didn't give any examples of.
Yeah, new ammo mod coming with the game. So something at release, nice new thing at release. So that's cool. Yeah. These are like this is like a seasonal update.
Yeah, it feels that way.
It's crazy. Yeah, so that's everything augment wise. We have our new high round adjustments. So
okay, excited about this. We talked a lot about high rounds to them at the preview event.
Yeah, and they recognize the fact that like getting hit by a bunch of projectile enemies or having a million manglers spawn in is just not fun. And they're toning that way down. Like you're going to have the elite zombie every once in a while, but it's going to be mostly fighting against standard zombies, armored zombies, and running around and using your movement skill to your advantage. They are tuning zombies to be less super sprintery, but more health and do more damage. Yeah. So
less sprinty, more health, and do. Huh.
Yes.
Okay.
So kind of like the old zombie system, not gonna lie. Like back in I don't know, BO3 and earlier, you were doing trains, you were running circles, and that's sort of the gameplay style they want to bring back. They want to encourage that a little bit more with Black Ops 7. Yeah, so
that's a like multi-game thing that they've really had in place now, where like in Cold War, you just hit super sprinter speed, and then it's like, okay, find somewhere to sit.
Round 45 hits, get in that corner, you know?
Yeah. Like, or like find a weird mantling spot, right? Where they all do a weird mantling thing. And
running around is like a death sentence. So,
that going away is promising.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And one of the really nice things about that is that armored zombies are never going to super sprint. So their challenge is just having more health and having to chip away the armor. They will never super sprint. So only normal zombies. Cool? Armored zombies,
Tell me if you think this is crazy. What if all super sprinters were like 2 inches taller than the other zombies? Like they looked like skinny, like really lean, but like they looked like they could really sprint like crazy. And then that way, in a horde behind you, you'd be able to be like, oh look, there's like a super sprinter like nestled in there, and I need to take it out because that one's gonna chase me down while I'm hoarding. Like, because it sounds like they're gonna have the super sprinters anyway. I don't know. I feel like that would be a cool change to the masses just all feeling like one big flat block of zombies as well.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm just yapping right now.
I actually like that suggestion because it just adds another layer, right? Just another layer of skill ceiling type thing. Yeah. So I mean, I like that suggestion. I hope they do something like that. That would be very nice. Even if the super
this is going to change high rounds a lot.
It is, and I hope that the super spinners are like, I would like them to have less health.
Same.
It just makes sense to me because
especially on super high rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't kill it, then it doesn't matter that there's less of them. It's the same problem. One will kill you. So like, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the nice things that's happening is you're not just going to hit a wall. They gave the example of like hitting round 45 and you hit a wall, right? And now half the zombies are super sprinting. They have higher health. Get in the corner like we were just talking about. It's going to be a more progressive difficulty increase up to 100. So instead of like round 45 being this big wall, you're going to be hitting a wall like around 100. But it's going to be a progressive difficulty increase. So assuming right now, but you're going to have a couple super sprinters on 45, and then you're going to have, a couple more in your horde on round 50, and then a few more on round 60. And then eventually it's just going to be, more difficult, more armored zombies come round 100. So I'm actually excited about that change. I think that sounds really nice for high round stuff. Put the skill back into the game. So that's fun.
Good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think it sounds like they heard some of our feedback from the event.
Yeah.
And I think some of the stuff that they're talking about there is kind of an indirect response to that, because one of the things that we said to them is over the years, high rounds have had sort of different forms. And then more recently, we've kind of got stuck in a meta, and it's a meta that's not particularly exciting, I think. And just mixing that meta up is just going to be good for the health of the game, especially because there's so much in Black Ops 7 that is just the same as Black Ops 6. Sounds like this is something that is going to be very different feeling. So that's good. I will always be praising those sorts of things.
Yeah, I'm excited for that because, I mean, if you have a same sort of upgrades and stuff, at least the gameplay is going to be changing a little bit. So
Yeah.
very, very nice and welcome change. I think people are going to like that a lot. They also said that it will be a deep experience combining the high round adjustments with cursed mode. So we will see how that kind of plays out. It's going to be a challenge, I guess, for players. So
Cool. Okay.
yeah, and the only last very minor detail about the super sprinters is that there's going to be more on Ashes of the Damned just because it's huge. But it's not going to be like for the post-launch content where you have these huge fog areas and places in between, because it would take forever if a zombie's just trying to catch up to you.
What? Post-launch content?
Yeah, just any post-launch maps. They're not going to have as many super sprinters as Ashes of the Damned, just because of how large it is, right? So that's sort of the one caveat and difference.
I mean, it's too early to really authoritatively say on this, but like, does that actually make sense? Just because it's big?
I think it was rather vague, but maybe just between zones or
Okay.
I don't know. There's super sprinters on transit when they're chasing the bus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that might be what they're kind of referencing there.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't really
I think
know.
maybe too early to have a strong opinion on it.
Yeah. I think it's just we'll see. We will see.
Yep.
Well, moving on from our high round adjustments, which sound pretty good. I'm very happy about those. We're gonna have a new melee mechanic, and it's gonna be a heavy melee attack. So your melee weapons aren't just going to do one set piece of damage. You can hold the button to do bigger damage, and you can crit with melee damage now. So you can hit zombies in the head, and you can crit. So that's a nice little change with melee.
Yeah. Is that something I would have seen in the preview build? I can't really recall.
Unless if you did it on accident and just...
Yeah.
Like, it would have had to be something you noticed. Like, you would have had to be paying attention to that, I think, to notice any sort of difference.
I think I was just too busy using the ray gun Mark II and running out of ammo. So.
That's...
Like,
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, I guess that's cool. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Bring back the Krizzlax. Like,
So they also have a lot of changes coming to the mystery box. They want you to hit the mystery box. They don't want it to be an irrelevant part of the game.
Okay.
So this also ties into loadouts a little bit, which we will get into.
Okay.
So the mystery box is going to feel more rewarding overall. So no longer are you going to go up to it and get a melee weapon out of it. You're not going to get a melee weapon, and you're not going to get score streaks out of the mystery box anymore. If you want to buy a chopper gunner, you got to go to a station and craft it. So no more just filling the mystery box with random junk you don't want. So only weapons. And they want it to be so that you get good weapons from the mystery box too. You don't want to just get junk all the time. They want it to be relevant for the round that you're on. So we had like in Cold War and for this game where the rarity will increase in chance to pop up the higher the round you go, but they're going to be attacking that even more aggressively. So they're going to phase out those lower rarities as you go up in the round. So you're not even going to see a green weapon on the later rounds. You're not even going to see a blue weapon on the later rounds. So yeah. So it's going to be a nice little change. I don't know how much different it's actually going to feel, because I thought it felt already like that. But yeah.
I also that's just stuff that should have been in Black Ops 6 at launch.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nice.
And even if it had been in Black Ops 6 at launch, I still wouldn't be hitting the box. So
correct.
Are they making any changes elsewhere to make the box more attractive?
Well, one last thing with the rarities is that the one weapon frequency is going to increase with higher rounds. It even more so than it is right now. So you're going to have a lot more chances to get a wonder weapon in the box. Okay. We'll see how that actually plays, but for now, that's all they really gave us.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so they're encouraging this mystery box usage and maybe even wall weapons because it's going to feel a little bit more like Cold War on your progression journey. So you have your loadout weapons still spawning with a loadout, but it's going to be more expensive. It's going to be harder to actually upgrade your rarity to be, I guess, in line with the progression of the game. So let's say
this is sorry to cut you off here. It's one of those weird ones where I think Kevin Drew's like leadership philosophy for Cold War onwards, and Corky's philosophy Cold War onwards, has been very much like, let's take pain points from the past and like just set a new precedent and set a new flow for how we fix them, right? So like they've got the rarity system now and they've got the salvage system now and stuff like that. And one of the ironies of for example, what they did with the point system, they were like, there's a problem with the old system. We're going to introduce a new system that we think like completely fixes it, right? The irony here is that we've now discovered a real problem with the loadout system that we've been preaching about since day one. But it's a real issue with the loadout system, which is that then everyone only uses their loadout weapon. And so ironically, they're being like, well, here are a bunch of reasons not to use the loadout weapon, when it's like, hold on, doesn't that mean that the solution in the first place was to just not introduce this system where you just force people to use loadout weapons?
Right.
Like,
I think there's a solution for that. It's like you just warzone the loadout. You have to drop it in. Like, that's how I feel.
Well, but then it's Warzone zombies, right? Like,
yeah, I know, but it's better. They don't have to do it the same way. It could be like some room you unlock. Like, you have to do a certain amount of things on Mob of the Dead to unlock the Hell's Retriever. It's like, make it zombified.
if I could, like, instead of like a workbench, if I could have like a weapons crafting den where I can like go in and like hit something with a hammer and it like means that I have a cool attachment on my weapon. Like, I guess something like that could work.
I do wish there was something more like that in the base standard mode, because I think it would be more exciting and changes the gameplay flow, but keeps the loadout and keeps these things that they want to keep in the game. So
because they're forcing players to make a bad choice now, where if they don't want you to be using the loadout weapon later in the game, but that's the thing we're unlocking all this stuff for. They're basically saying you should care about these unlocks, you should care about weapon attachments, you should care, but we're going to make it a ball ache for you to then use those things, and it's going to mean that your gameplay experience is less straightforward and less fun than if you just hit the mystery box. Like,
yeah, it's going to be like, your gun's starting to suck now, but you can't upgrade it anymore. So go buy the box. Go spin the box.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a weapon out of the box now, not a score streak. So it's going to be worth hitting. But yeah, it's a very weird workaround for a real issue that people have been communicating. So, I mean,
feels like they've literally run into the issue they had 5 years ago, and they tried to fix with a new system, and then they realized, oh, the new system has flaws as well, and they're just trying to go back to the old system while keeping the new system.
It's
like,
strange, very strange.
Still, I'm excited about them trying to do things that make things feel a bit different.
Yeah,
because I don't think there's enough of that in this game from what I've seen so far.
Right. So we'll have to see how it plays once again.
Yep.
And regarding our loadout weapons, they obviously they're tuning the rarity costs and want it to cost more to upgrade your weapons. So you know what they're doing. They are changing how suppressors and silencers work, and it's going to have a reduced chance for salvage compared to today, to encourage using other attachments. So
other attachments that are going to do literally nothing.
Other attachments that are going to give you bullet velocity against zombies. So, which is irrelevant.
Oh my!
Which is irrelevant. So,
I feel like I'm in crazy town, bro. Like,
it's ridiculous.
What? Did they say anything about those attachments having actual zombie-related stats now that make? What are we doing?
They did not.
The one attachment that actually feels different.
Yes, there is literally one attachment in zombies that does a zombies related thing, and they are nerfing that attachment. So I don't understand why. If you're going to nerf it, give us powers on other attachments. Make them do something cool. If the game is not going to change drastically with augments, make the game change by having a very unique weapon loadout. Like,
yeah, that would be really cool
is
if
your
we could like
Hades.
build craft in a new sense. But again, hold on, they don't want us using those loadout weapons. They want us spinning the mystery box. You see what I
Correct.
mean? Like,
Correct.
it's like, what are we doing
but
here,
your mystery
guys?
box weapons have zombie builds, so it was like,
Oh, true,
you know?
true.
So I don't think that's changing. I think that's staying. I think zombie builds are staying in the game. I don't think they didn't mention anything. So I'm assuming it's staying. I don't know why it wouldn't stay because that is their new system.
But they, okay, yeah,
yeah.
interesting.
So and something along that too is they want you to buy wall weapons because the wall weapons, when you buy them, they're not just going to drop another wall weapon on the ground when you buy another one.
Okay,
You're going to get ammo now at a reduced price compared to like ammo crates.
Call of Duty World at War figured that out. We're finally back, baby.
We're back, baby.
Okay.
We're back to wall weapons giving you ammo. So,
but does that mean that they don't have, like, will it be a zombie build off the wall that you get?
That's what I'm
originally.
assuming.
Okay.
That you will have your zombie build.
That'd be weird to lose that feature.
Yeah, it would be very strange. So, we'll see.
Yeah,
we will see. Yeah, so that's like, okay, I want to be able to buy wall weapons. I want that to be part of my gameplay, but I would rather just buy a wall weapon and start with a pistol type thing than the current loadout system. But a lot of people feel that way, but they're trying to keep that in there because they mentioned a couple times like camo grind. They don't want to affect the camo grind too much. They want you to still, I know. They want you to have an easily accessible camel grind, I think is sort of how they were wording it, if I'm paraphrasing, throughout the multiple times they mentioned it. So
yeah, it makes me so sad, dude. Like,
I know if that system's only here to enable the camel grind, I'm like, get rid of the system. Like, then, so we'll
I know a lot of people enjoy the camo grind, and I don't want to it's valid. It's fine, it's fair enough, but
after all the Warzone and MP guys play the mode for 2 weeks and get their camos, they're not going to play it ever again. And then you have a bunch of Zombies fans that are stuck with the system that they don't like. So who are we appeasing? Are we bringing those players over to this mode because there's a loadout? I don't think so.
Preach. Yeah.
It's just very strange to me. So unfortunate. We still have loadouts. So we do have the curse mode, but it's like, once again, you're going to play the curse mode. Why? Because it's harder, or are you just going to make that challenge? I don't
hard to
I don't know
say.
What the right answer is here.
Reveal.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't get paid to make these decisions. So real, but they are making some changes to the Wonderfizz. So right now, Wonderfizz round 25 shows up on the map. Sometimes you want the Wonderfizz earlier. You want to use double tap on, I don't know, Liberty Falls, but you have to wait till round 25 for double tap. Well, now I don't fully understand with how they worded it.
Bro, this is why these criticals suck. Like,
I know, and maybe somebody else fully understands this, but I personally do not fully understand this.
Okay.
So how they worded it is that the Wonderfizz will spawn after we buy 3 perks, after we purchase 3 perks per player, plus 1 purchased. So what I'm getting at is if all players buy 3 perks and then one player buys a 4th, it spawns the Wonderfizz.
Okay, that seems to make sense.
Yes, but then then I don't know if that's also like if one player buys 6 perks, does that count as a 3 perks for some other player? Do all players have to buy 3? Are we waiting for the entire squad to buy 3 perks? I don't fully understand it. I
reckon it's every player has to have 3 perks. But then that sucks ass.
I know.
Because if you're in a game with randoms and they don't buy perks, you can't get the Wonderfizz.
Exactly. So if it's 3 perks per player, but it's just like 2 players could buy 12 perks total, and then a 13th, and that will spawn the Wonderfizz. I don't know. How
I feel like it should just be once somebody has 4 perks.
That would make more sense to me.
Wouldn't that just be the like most simple solution that would cause no confusion in anyone's brain. Like,
I think so. And I think that no matter how the system actually works, it's going to confuse players because like if they explain it perfectly in the blog post or whatever, like it's just not very casual friendly. Somebody that's gonna
because you have to rely on unknown information that only other players are privy to. Like, you don't want to be saying to your buddy, like, hey, how many perks do you have? And how soon do you think you're going to be able to buy your third perk so that I can spawn the Wonderfizz in 3 rounds? Like, why are we making it that? Treyarch, just change it so that it's just once you buy your 4th perk, it spawns. Like,
well, here's the kicker. I'm pretty sure it's only perks that you purchase, okay? But they're adding a free perk power-up that can drop at a very small chance, but it can drop. So any free perks you get, I do not believe count towards this. I may be wrong, but I believe it's only perks you purchase. So you can end up with 3 perks for everyone, but not have the Wonderfizz yet because you have a free one. So I'm going to have to see how they address that because that sounds extra confusing to me.
Let's assume that that's not a problem, right? Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt that like they figure out a way to make it fine. Even so, is this a good change? Because I think the Wonderfizz as a presence on every map ultimately makes it feel like every map is the same. You just buy the same perks every time because you get the Wonderfizz. And I think people like it for that reason because they like having all the perks. But I don't think they necessarily recognize the fact that does mean that the maps have less. Exactly, they have less individual personality because you are just homogenous. You just do the same thing everywhere, right?
Yeah, that's something that old zombies did. They would omit perks. They would have new perks on maps. Vulture Rate is only on buried.
Yeah.
So
So to now be making it so that it's not only on every map, but it's also more easily accessible. Part of me is wondering, like, well, why are you just not having it there from the very beginning of the game then? Because this is going to change so little. Like, you can have 4 perks. Like, everyone can have 4 perks by like round 9 or something.
Yeah.
So do we think it's going to make a difference not having Wonderfizz until round 9? I don't think it is. It's just going to feel like you're just opening the map and then you have Wonderfizz. Like, I don't really get it. And that's the perfect place for a dev call for them to explain it. And it sounds like they just didn't explain the rationale there and they didn't go into any detail.
No, they were just kind of like, people didn't like having to wait till round 25 for the Wonderfizz. So we have a new system where you can get it earlier. That's the rationale. That's it.
I wish they'd talk about it more. Maybe in the blog post. We'll see.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see. Yeah. This is only stuff that I've heard. So, and they're also changing it so that we have this system now where each perk does not have a set price. And it increases in price based on how many perks you buy. So they just clarified that if you get a free perk, it is not going to increase the perk price. So let's say if you get a free perk as your first perk is still going to cost, what is it, 2,000? So if you have a free perk, your first perk that you buy is still going to be the lowest tier price.
Good.
Yeah. Good. Which is good. So it's not going to increase the price. If you get like 4 free perks, it's not going to cost an arm and a leg to get a 5th one. Because that's kind of silly anyway. I would rather them just have their own set prices. I think it makes more sense in my head. Maybe that's just my old zombies head talking, but I liked when Jug was 2,500 and Speakhole was 3,000. And
you know what they could do? They could make it so that the Wonderfizz machine has a cash meter on it, and once 10 grand has been spent on perks in a match, the machine is active. Like, they could make it have a visual display so that you don't have to. Go ahead.
I was just going to say they may already have that. We just don't know.
Yeah, fair, true. Yeah, fair enough.
We really just don't know at this point. It's too early to say, but feedback before the game comes out, that better be a thing. It better be showing on the map. Like, if it's not, if it's just invisible how it is now and then it appears at round 25, if it's invisible right now, it just appears after you buy those perks, that's a bad system.
It's just gonna be confusing, yeah.
Yeah, even more so confusing. Yes, it should have something indicating in game. If it doesn't, it's gonna be it's just silly.
Yep.
So we'll see. We will see once again. I hope. I really hope. But they didn't mention that, so.
Okay.
And I mentioned that there's a free perk power up and it's a small random chance. Well, they're going back to how it was in the old games where you can get multiple power ups in a round, and those multiple power ups do not count towards your drop cycle. So, like, for example, right now, if you get an insta kill, you have to wait until you get every single other power up before you get another insta kill. Well, now you're going to have a chance to get extra power ups at a small chance, and they don't count towards the cycle. So you can get an insta kill this round, and then next round you get a max ammo, and then another insta kill, but you haven't gone through the full cycle. So
speedrunners are going to feel about this, because I feel like that kind of ruins the fairness of speedruns. Everyone's just going to be like,
right, you might get a random drop that really helps.
Yeah, if you get a
double
lucky
points and then another double points and then another double points, like who knows?
Literally, like you get a lucky double points, or you get a lucky. For example, let's say you're doing a certain run that requires you to have PhD, and part of your strat is that you have to do 30 seconds of farming to just get the points to buy PhD before you go into boss fight. If you just get PhD for free, so that's the RNG of getting a random free perk, and it's the RNG of it being PhD, then it's just 30 seconds of time that is just shaved, just instantly.
It is.
So I can foresee that being problems for those players.
I can, but also at the same time, having the perfect run where all that happens feels awesome, and it's something that I think speedrunners chase too.
I mean, they like pain, so that's fair enough.
Yeah, like speedrunner is all about like having pain. I don't have like good authority on this, but
yeah,
you know, when games do have that stuff, I mean, I guess, you know, adding this system to the game where it wasn't like this before, yes, like I see people complaining about that, or not liking that for speedrun specifically.
Yeah,
but we'll have to see how it plays, because like I have seen speedrunners in other games, it's like you get the perfect, I don't know, 5 sequences in a row. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
this is awesome. Like, it's a big dopamine hit when all that
it's like,
happens.
I feel like it's often a scenario where the RNG is like somewhat understood. And
yes.
So like, let's say this is like every drop cycle, your next drop is a random drop before you go into the next drop cycle, right? Like a scenario like that, I think that they'd be really happy with, compared to a scenario where it was just like, you have a 1 in 10,000 chance to just get a random drop at any time, and then you do 50 runs and you don't get it, and then you do that 51st run and it happens, and you're just like, oh, it just randomly happened, but at the wrong time. So like, that's just annoying. I don't know. I can just see that being like more RNG in a video game where Treyarch's actually done quite a good job of limiting a lot of RNG in a lot of cases, in my opinion. We'll see. We'll see what their opinions are on that. I don't want to speak for them. But we'll
I
see.
think the only group that it's going to affect negatively is the speedrunning group. I also do wonder if the first drop you get every round, I wonder if that's going to be the one part of the drop cycle. I'm guessing yes. And then everything after that will be the small chance of another power up. We'll have to see how that plays, actually.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. So yeah, that's the new stuff happening for drops. And there's a couple other small tidbits that we got. So I already talked about the wall buys. They give you ammo at a decreased price, and armor wall buys is kind of annoying in BO6 because you have your tier 3 armor, you got to run halfway across the map to get the tier 3 armor, and then run the other way. Like if you wanted the tier 2, it's in spawn, so you have to run to spawn. But now they're just going to have, okay, you buy armor here. It goes up in tier when you buy it. So that is a nice little quality of life change that they're adding.
Cool.
So
That's
fine.
good.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I like that. I feel like that's, once again, we're kind of going back to Cold War. There's an armor machine that you go up to, then upgrade your armor at. So this is just like that. It's a combination of both systems that we should have arrived at already, I think. But that's fine. I'm glad it's here. There's some other quality of life stuff. These are not augments. Down players will be revived at round completion, no matter what. So if half of your team is down and they're going to die, they're halfway across the map, but you can't make it to them. But if you have 3 zombies left, you rush to kill those zombies and you will save your team. You will save your team. So they're gonna revive. So that's a nice little change. And then if you slide into zombies, it's going to do damage, but also knock them down. So it's not like you don't need PhD slider for that. It's just going to be a default mechanic for the movement sandbox. So
interesting.
Cool. Good with that. It sounds cool.
Yep.
A little thing for some of the zombies truthers out there. We're going to have the fade from black at match start. So it's a very minor thing, but it gives the map a more, I don't know, I guess a cinematic feel. Just makes it feel a little bit more grounded. I don't know.
That came up in the call.
It did, correct.
Black
Yep. Unprompted, yes.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I've heard literally nobody ever complain about that.
I don't know. I guess it's going to have more of a classic feel. Is it what they did in BO3 maybe? I don't know.
I can't even...
I don't remember.
Honestly,
I really don't remember. I think it was a thing in Black Ops 3. I feel like spawning on Shadows of Evil, it faded from black. Like, if I look back, that's what it felt like. So I guess they're trying to capture that energy. It definitely felt
that way. Because but I feel like part of that was that in Shadows, you thematically feel like... You just got knocked out. And then you're waking up from being like drugged basically, and you're like, whoa, I'm in this. So that's such a funny thing for them to be like, we need that back. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Bro, bring back. Cool. There's a million other systems from BO3 they could bring back.
The fact that that's one of them is like, oh, all right.
Listen, I'm here for it. It sounds fine. Sure.
If they're making any changes in that sort of direction, great. Like, I'm happy about that. It's just a very strange one to mention. Like, we could have just gone on day one, and then, like, one random person on Twitter notices that happened. And then it's like, oh my God, wait, they did
I'm
this.
here for it.
Yeah, like,
it's weird. I'm here for it.
I don't know. Cool. So, a couple questions that came up in the Q&A. They focus on some of the, like, edge cases with perks and stuff, and, like, how they interact with, like, different Easter egg steps and systems. Like, do you have to get lucky on a rotation? I'm surprised
that was what the questions were.
Yeah, so like some of the questions they asked about like Easter egg RNG, things like that, and they said they're going to identify those things before we get to play them. So
what does that even mean? I don't even know what this question and answer
I don't remember what exactly the question was referencing. Maybe like an old thing that happened in Black Ops 4 that was annoying that you had to deal with. But they're pretty much just going to identify things RNG based in the game. They're not going to be as annoying, I guess, when those things come up. So
cool. I mean, I'm down for less RNG. Yeah,
I don't really have specifics, to be honest.
Okay, sure.
And it doesn't seem like something they're going to further mention. It's just things that will happen behind the scenes in dev.
Yep.
So with augments, it's really annoying to have to go and change them. If you are trying to build for like a super reviver, because that is something that you can do. Like you can change your augments to be team play focused and to buff your teammates and stuff like that. That is one thing the augment system allows you to do. Now, you still have to change them before your game. They have not worked on some sort of armory loadout
they haven't?
That you can save for your augments. Whoa. No, it is something they have discussed and they're aware of that people would like to have, and something they might potentially look at for post-launch. So kind of disappointing to hear, not going to lie. I know we were saying how earlier you could throw one augment set on and leave it, but it would be way more fun and it would encourage me to use different augments if there was a system in place where I can quickly change them. Because
part of the reason I use the same augments all the time is because I can't be asked to go into the menu and fiddle around with the whole thing.
Exactly. And then you forget before your next game that you don't have the one on that like is vital for your solo game. And it's like, okay, well now I'm missing out on like Dying Wish or something. So like it's a bit strange.
That's really unfortunate.
If they were going to improve systems in this game and make it feel less like Black Ops 6, that's one of the things that they could have done to have actual loadouts and builds that you can make. Like I just don't really get why that's not something they didn't focus on more.
I'd like to give them the feedback to prioritize that.
I think that's something they should prioritize more than they think.
ASAP post-launch. I think that'd be good.
Build diversity would actually go up. So that's really it. Some of the
that was the whole Q&A?
Yeah, there were some things that we mentioned earlier about like loadout stuff that I've just mentioned. They talked about like the loadouts and upgrading with salvage feeling more like the Cold War system than Black Ops 6, where it's just going to be a little bit more difficult mid-game. And they're trying to encourage you to use the other systems in the game, I guess. So that's really all they had to say. There weren't many questions, and if the questions were there, like the few like survival maps, like the first survival maps that they're going to be releasing, this is one other thing I didn't mention. They will have most of the systems, I guess, in place so that you can go into a survival map. You can have every perk, Wonderfizz, Pack-a-Punch, everything that you would expect on a full map will be in a survival map. So you're not having like Bus Depot that only has a mystery box, for example. Something in post-launch, maybe they will mess around with that a little bit. But it wasn't like too specific. Maybe like...
So my understanding of the reasoning for that is that they want the survival map to just be like an easy Liberty Falls experience. And if they made Farm, like the launch survival map, something that was really challenging for some reason with limited systems, the noobs would have to play zombies, and the noobs don't want to have to play zombies.
Right.
Because there's nothing else in the game that educates them on how to play zombies.
Right.
And so I think that what we'll probably see is there'll be probably a new survival map in season 1 or something, I don't know. And that will probably also be full of like full features. And then probably later in the year, like in the post-launch year, that's when they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, we'll play around with like some slightly more interesting variations of this.
Right.
But
no Wonderfizz would be cool. No Wonderfizz and like only a couple selection of perks or something,
Yeah, I mean, I really liked that back in Black Ops 2.
Yes.
Having like Bus Depot high rounds is something I actually ran a decent amount. I remember playing with Way to Go back in the day from the CODS forums. And we'd go for like trying to hit round 100 on Bus Depot, like 2-player, and it would take forever. And like that was just like a fun thing back in the day, like using an M14 as well. Like, just like, ugh.
Right. They're unique. They're unique experiences, and like I don't want like with the Wonderfizz like we were talking about earlier. It's not really a unique experience on every map anymore. It feels the same sort of sandbox every game. So we'll see if they do go in that direction post launch. I hope they do. I hope they make it a little bit different. But we'll see.
Yeah, different means adapting, and adapting means worrying about excluding the Warzone players.
I know.
So that's the challenge.
The directive to not exclude them is crazy because you have such a vocal majority at this point. I think that tells you what they want. I don't know.
Well, Liberty Falls most played map of all time, and it's Warzone Zombies. So
but that's where you go and grind your camos. Like we're going to have survival maps for that. And, if you want to go grind your camos, go on those survival maps. If you want the challenge, you can go on these other ones. I think it's like we can't make every single piece of content a piece to everyone. And that's okay. I think that's okay.
Because Activision executives might not agree.
Yeah, well, I know. And the thing is, like, those people are not going to even play it anyway come 2 months. So it's like the people that are still playing zombies when the Tomb releases are zombies fans.
Yeah.
They're the diehards. The diehards are still playing. Like, it's just how the post-launch works anyway. Yeah. So
okay, overall, I mean, I'm a bit surprised that they did a creator call for this.
Yeah.
Don't really understand it, personally. This video will be going out at the exact minute that the embargo drops on the same day the trailers and stuff are going to be coming out. So you'll probably have heard stuff in this that sounds similar to stuff in the blog post, similar to stuff in the trailer, etc., but from just like a slightly different angle. But it's in our other videos from here that you will learn more about those systems, and you'll be able to piece it together with the information from this video to build the most complete picture of what the hell is going on. So on screen right now, we're going to link some of our other content to trailer, blog post, etc. Dive into those with the knowledge that you've gained from this video, and we look forward to having you there. Thank you, Joe, for walking me through everything in the call. That sounds like you've done a very comprehensive job, so I appreciate it.